Hi everybody, here's Krystian from TeamworkCast.
And this is Putty, again from TeamworkCast.
And here we are here with another beautiful Netrunner game that was recorded on the 22nd of February at Hiveworld, a local card game, role-playing game store, which I visit frequently because I work right next to it. This was a Netrunner tournament with 9 people participating, and it was the first game I think I actually played on there. And yeah, let's just see how this plays out.
All right.
So
I really like your click tokens, by the way.
Oh, they're thank you very much, but they are actually not mine. I'm using the click tokens from my opponent. My opponent here is his name is Plüsch, or his nickname is Plüsch, and I'm on the left. I'm playing as a shaper, as a Real Kit Peddler. Are you familiar with this one, Nick?
Real Kit Peddler?
A Real Kit Peddler. Just Kit. Just call it Kit.
It says the first piece of ice you encounter each turn gains Code Gate until the end of the run.
Indeed.
So if they're playing Code Gate Ice, you will win.
Yes, and also if they're not playing Code Gate Ice, I can still win because it turns
that's true.
It turns everything into Code Gates.
That's useful.
And my opponent, Plüsch, is playing NBN, making use the standard identity of NBN from the core set. Very simple. It just increases the strength of traces. And there we go. He starts out with a hedge fund. He gets lots of monies. And what will he do as his second click?
So with your deck, what's the goal of your deck?
My goal is to get a dinosaur.
What does the dinosaur do?
It's a console called Dinosaurus, and it increases the strength of an icebreaker if you install in it.
Oh, that's fun.
And of course, then I will put a Code Gate icebreaker in it, and then I will get through all of the ice. And so he did yet another hedge fund. So he says a huge pile of money now, and he has an ice in front of the R&D. But I made a run on his hand, on his HQ, and I scored a agenda right there. 1 point for me. I'm already winning.
Looks like you guys were bickering about what side of the card thing to put your points on.
Yes, indeed, because we want it to be like in view of the camera. Yes, so I'm a slow player because I'm a new player. So I sometimes take some time. I'm playing a very, very popular card right now called Test Run, which allows me to get a program from my hand and just play it for free. But
does it stay around permanently, or does it go away?
No, at the end of the turn, it gets on top of my deck. So I can test it for it. It's basically like shareware. You test it for a month, and then you have to get it away, and then you have to pay for it. But of course,
you guys are really into the whole cutting the deck thing.
Oh yeah, tournaments. You have to cut the decks in tournaments. Everybody.
There are all manner of studies on people cutting the deck, not cutting the deck. It's fun.
Oh, interesting.
It's a very psychological thing, you know.
It is. Some people just knock on the deck because they can't bother, just to acknowledge that that you offered them. It's a courtesy thing more of a.
It's a superiority thing. Like I don't need to cut your deck.
Yeah, a little bit.
Screw you, buddy.
So I got out my icebreaker, but I haven't actually used it. So it lands on top of my deck. I just got money. It was just a way of getting the icebreaker from my ice. And here's Jackson Howard. Everybody's using Jackson Howard, and then he places Jackson Howard, which allows him to draw cards. And then later on he can trash him at any point to get cards from his archives, from his discard pile into his deck, into R&D. And then he puts up more ice.
At this point, I'm thinking that the corporation has you at a tremendous advantage.
Well, they have ice, which will stop me probably.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing? I'm playing... Oh, nice. I'm playing Dirty Laundry, and I'm making a run on Jackson Howard. And I realized too late that it might have been a mistake. Dirty Laundry, if a run's successful, I will get 5 monies. But only if the run's successful. So I'm making a run on Jackson Howard and don't have the money to trash him.
So technically the run isn't successful?
It is successful because I get to access him. But the thing is, he could make the run not successful by trashing Howard before I access him.
Oh, is he going to do it? Is he
No,
gonna do it?
he doesn't do it. He finds Howard is more valuable. Actually, unintentionally, this was actually quite a smart move because I would I would basically trash Howard without paying for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, he decides to keep Howard where it is, and I just get the monies. Well, which is also kind of nice. I haven't thought this through. I just thought I'm gonna get the money. I'm just gonna run something that's not protected. And then I realized too late that it was actually way more complicated than I thought. All right, so I'm getting out the Yogg, which is a code breaker for Code Gate Ice. It has strength 3, and it gets me through any ice for free. You don't have to pay for it, but you cannot level it up. It stays at strength 3 for the rest of the game. So anything that's stronger than 3, I just can't break. So now I'm making a run on... what am I making a run on? Making a run on R&D, I think. And he reses it, and it is a code gate, but it is a very strong code gate. It is a tall boost.
That is a strong. Yeah.
It's strength... It's strength 5, I think, isn't it?
You said it's the toll booth?
Yes.
I have to look it up.
It is strength 5.
Yeah.
And also you have to pay 3 monies to get through it. And then he plays another card. I forgot what this one is.
That's one of the money bank cards, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I think it's very similar to Armitage.
I really like the banking cards. The only reason I keep bringing this up is that Kristen thinks they are dumb.
The banking cards? Why?
She says that they take up space in decks that could be used for more useful things.
Well, she's not wrong.
No, she's not wrong at all. She's a much more aggressive player than me.
that fits her her persona. I think it's market accounts or something, or closed accounts. I forgot the name of that card. Somebody will probably point out in the comments section. It is a fairly new card, so I'm not familiar with it. All right,
And it's not closed accounts.
No, it's not. I'm making a run on HQ on his hand. He doesn't rest the ice. I get to access a card. I score another agenda. Look at me. I'm so lucky.
Man, you are lucky.
And I even scored a good agenda. It is AstroScript program, the evil agenda of writing on the moon.
It's like in the cartoon The Tick, where he just wants to write chair face on it.
Yeah, it's pretty much it. But no, seriously, it's a very good agenda because if you score it, then you can advance other agendas with it.
Ooh.
So you can. So it's basically part of this fast advance strategy. Where
I often forget that agendas themselves have special abilities.
Yeah. Well, sometimes they don't matter, but in this is really part of like this fast advance deck type where you get agendas. Score agendas so quickly that the runners don't have a chance to make a run on them.
I think that this game seems to be highlighting the fact that even though in Netrunner experience matters, it doesn't matter as much as it does in, say, like Magic.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. So he uses that one card that gets him money I forgot what the name is. He basically gets money, as much money as I have cards in my hand. And I do something very stupid now. I use Plascrete. Plascrete is a card that allows you to basically creates a shield that shields you from damage. You have like 4 tokens on it, and for each token you can prevent 1 meat damage. But it's kind of silly for me for playing this card because I don't think my opponent Plüsch is actually playing anything that can do meat damage to me.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like that's the goal of their deck. Their goal seems to be something like just advancing agendas. It seems like a very traditional deck.
Yeah, it is. I think it's a very simple one. So I'm also playing Armitage Code Busting, which gets me money. By the way, the card on the bottom that he played was called Marked Accounts. And the card that he played previously that is on his archives now is called Sweeps Week.
Ah, Sweeps Week. Okay.
Oh yes, and then he creates a new server. So many cards to run on, and I'm being really silly right now. At this point, I really should have trashed Jackson.
Yeah,
Because he
should not be.
because he keeps using it to draw more cards, and now he has so many cards out. It's really crazy.
So when he puts a card into his archives like that, it's basically because you haven't seen it yet?
Yes, it's a hidden card, and I can do a run on archives to see it. So I'll make a run on the new server, and it is protected by a bastion, and I get stopped by the bastion because I don't have anything to break it. I'm not doing so well right now.
I don't know. I think you guys are pretty well balanced at this point. Although he has a much longer, like it could go. All he needs to do is play a couple more cards.
Yeah. Well, he's setting up his fortress, and my runs are failing all this time. I scored 2 agendas, but that was really just luck, I think.
Well, I just hadn't had his stuff up yet. But I mean, that's kind of the fast and furiousness of the runner.
Indeed. So I'm playing modded on my York, which increases the strength of my icebreaker. So now it can break things with strength of 4, which is still not enough for the toll booth.
Yeah.
And I think it's still not enough for Bastion, or is it? Maybe it's still enough for Bastion.
So it seems at this point that your opponent realizes that you are a newer player than him. So you guys probably talk more.
Oh no, he was really nice. He absolutely knew that I was a new player, and he was very polite about me. Yes, and he scores his agenda, and it is yet another Astor script program, and he can now put an advancement counter on anything whenever he chooses to. Which is a shame, because I installed the modded thing on the York to get through his Bastion thing, but I was too late.
Yeah.
But I'm still in the lead, technically. I'm still in the lead. I have 3 points, he has 2 points. So what am I doing? Lots of thinking involved, apparently. I'm looking at what I have in this card. I draw a card, and it's my Dinosaurus. I can see it.
Come on, past Krystian. Play cards faster.
Play the Dinosaurus. That's a problem with my deck. If I already have my Codebreaker out, and then I get my Dinosaurus, there is not really a good way to get the Codebreaker inside the Dinosaurus. You need to play the Dinosaurus first, and that's not what happened here. So I'm a little bit frustrated by this.
So you need to wait until he gets rid of all of your programs and then start again.
And well, I have to draw another Codebreaker, or I have a card called Salvage, which I can also get it to destroy a program and get it back. Complicated. Anyway, I'm getting more money. That's always a good thing.
He doesn't really have a lot of money. Although I guess, he has about 6?
I think he has. It's kind of difficult to tell because he puts like a little pile on his card. He has a little bit.
Oh, those other 2 aren't just, they're counters.
Yeah, the other two are like reminders for him, so he can like boost traces, because that's his ability of his identity. So he draws a card at the beginning of his turn, and then he has to decide what he does with his 3 clicks. He plays an ice.
On an empty server.
Yes, probably.
How interesting.
This is probably going to be his advancing server, where he keeps advancing stuff inside.
I'm curious why he's not protecting his little guy.
Because if I make a run on him, I can trash him immediately. He can trash him immediately.
But you have so few money, you would think that he would just. Well, yeah, I guess leaving it open would be the best way.
There's no reason for him to spend ice for protecting him, because again, if I make a run on him, he can trash him. He can use his ability, and then the run fizzles out basically. Alright, so what am I doing now? It's my turn. He just installed ice and got some monies. The camera is shaking. It's so exciting. Yeah. I'm using Modded, and I'm modding in my Dinosaurus. Yes, it is in. Modded is a card that lowers the cost of a card by 3. And Dinosaurus is quite expensive. It costs 5, so I got this for 2. So now I'm thinking what to do. My York is strength 4. It doesn't get through the toll booth. He kind of put an end to this. I'm running on HQ.
That's a bold move.
It is a bold move.
I guess it's the only move they have. There's enough money in there's enough stuff in his archives
I probably should run an archive at some point. I'm running this basically mostly. I'm not expecting to score or something there, but I kind of want him to rest at ice, so he spends his money. Because if he doesn't have money, then he cannot play, advance any agendas and stuff like that, you know. He's thinking about if he wants to rest his ice, if there's something in his hand that he wants protecting. And in fact, there is something protecting here. Wow, that's a crazy card I haven't seen before.
Look at this chin strap. It was in camera just briefly.
Oh man, now I'm embarrassed. Do you recognize the ice?
I do not recognize that ice at all. So it's a 3-cost ice, right?
It is a 3 strength and 3 cost ice. I had to read it up myself. I apparently it didn't leave a lasting impression.
Yeah.
But I was able to score an agenda again. Man, I'm so lucky.
It is not Muckraker.
No, it's not. It's not NBN ice. I think it's Wayland. Ah, there we go. It's a Caduceus.
Caduceus,
If it starts a trace and the corporation gets money, and there's a second trace it starts and it ends the run. But apparently it didn't end the run. He didn't have the money to end the run. Huh. He installs a card in his advanced server, in the server that he uses to advance things. He discards stuff because he has too much on his hand. And then it's my turn again. So now, of course, I'm kind of challenged because he installed a card there, and it might be an agenda, so I should be probably doing a run on it.
Yeah. I mean, your thing's pretty beefy, so you should be able to get through a lot of stuff.
So he dresses the ice. It is a pop-up window, which is one of my favorite ice. It costs nothing to res. It costs nothing to res, and you just have to pay like one money.
You just have to click the X.
You can break it, but breaking it usually costs more than 1 money. And this time around, I can actually use it because I have a code break ice that costs nothing to break code gates, but it stops the run. So I do a second run. But before that, I play Tinkering on the second ice he has there. So both ice are now code gates. So I can break both of them. Because I have only a code gate icebreaker out.
I like the other guy's shirt.
It's a pretty sweet shirt. It is a little bit of confusion because I thought I made a mistake. Because the ability of my identity is it's a Sensen. There's a Sensen inside. Sensen is a very famous card, which is an upgrade for a server that lowers the advancement cost of all agendas in the server by 1. It is a very popular card for making fast advanced things, and so
you
now
didn't have the money to trash it either.
I don't have the money, and I should have saved up the money and did it again because now he puts an agenda in there.
Yeah,
and will he advance it? No, he doesn't have the clicks. He has this card. But yeah, now this is like, agenda advance country right there.
Dang, yeah, that's so much. Oh my god.
Oh man, he uses shipment from Sanson, I think, to get 2 agenda counters, and he uses also the counter from his other agenda, which is called like Astrograph Astro script program, to get more counters on this. So yeah, he basically scored an agenda right there in front of my eyes. I could have prevented it if I had more money. So now I'm in a little bit of a tricky situation. I really need to stop this server that he has going on there. That
is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because he will win within a turn or two.
Yes, he will.
As long as he has agendas in his hand.
Yeah, he can like advance everything in there.
It's like a little egg. I'm
getting
sad
money.
I haven't seen your dinosaur. I saw you posting about it on Twitter and various social media about your dinosaur.
I'm very proud of my dinosaur. I'm a simple person. I like to center my decks around a simple combo.
Yeah.
And if you put a York and a Dinosaurus, you can break a lot of ice for free, and that's really sweet.
I'm sad. I keep getting reminded about how much I love creatures whenever I play card games. I'm a green player in Magic through and through. And all of the decks that I enjoy playing in Netrunner all have tons and tons and tons of like either ice if I'm in Corporation or little programs, little guys
that have creatures on them.
Yeah,
they do a lot of that because it's kind of like difficult because it's like abstract programs and things. Like you can have just so many cards with a laboratory or like a CEO behind a desk on them.
But I rarely have like Armitage Coach busting or anything like that because I could always just put in another little guy.
That's a very interesting deck strategy there. I don't think that's a tournament viable strategy.
No, it probably isn't.
But then again, I'm probably not using one myself. So yeah, both of us in economy round, I got a lot of money and a card.
Yeah.
He also gets a lot of money.
Man, you guys have tons of money right now.
Yeah, well, you kind of need to do money to have money in this game in order to do things.
So, what's the card that has all of the tokens on it?
My card?
Yeah.
Oh, that was the Plascrete thing that I was talking about. The thing that prevents damage, which is completely useless right now because you won't be doing any damage. Alright, I'm playing Sure Gamble, getting more monies even. Now, with this kind of money, I probably should have made a run to trash at Sansan.
Sansan, you also should trash his other guy.
Oh yeah, I should have trashed Howard ages ago.
Yeah.
And I should have trashed this other money-making card also ages ago. So I'm modding my York second time around. So I built Dinosaurus manually, basically. Which is a sad thing for me to do. But there was no other choice. So I'm doing...
you're going for broke.
Yeah, I'm doing Dirty Laundry on his deck. And I'm getting through his toll booth now because my York is now strong enough. And I'm looking at something and I was confused because I didn't recognize the card. And I still don't... Oh yeah, it's Shipping from Sansan. So I got through it, but there was no agenda, alas. The funny thing about toll booth is even if you can break it, it still costs you a lot of money.
Yeah, it does. Holy cow. 3
money at least to get through it. Not counting any breaking on anything. But yes, my York is now strength 5. So I can get through any ice with a strength of 5 for free. And he installs and advances twice. No, he reses Sansan because it wasn't rest yet. Cost 6 monies. And then he advances twice and he scores an Esco script. Which puts him at, I think he's at 5 now? Yes, 5. So just one more 2-point agenda and he wins the game. But I'm 5 myself, so we're even at this point. The next agenda wins the game.
But for him, unless he has an agenda on top of his R&D, which he can't stop, he's basically running this game.
Yeah, the problem is like he can put out an agenda without me being able to hack it first. So I really need to get rid of the Sansan of this in his advanced server in order to stop him. But I don't really realize this because I'm not really familiar with this at this point. It is one of my first tournament games. I think it is actually my first tournament game. So I'm using the tinkering trick again. I'm turning the second ice into a code gate so I can get through both of them with my one code breaker. Do I trash the Sansan? Please trash the Sansan. Yes, I trash the Sansan. Oh my gosh, I was
good
smart.
Job. You're playing good, man.
Smart. What are we talking about? And I'm making a run on R&D. I'm being super aggressive right now. Do you see how aggressive I am? And it's not an agenda, sadly.
Not aggressive enough.
Well, I gave myself a chance. That's how you have to think about this.
Man, I cannot predict who's going to win. It seems to me that he might have just won, huh?
Game over.
Oh.
He installs a card, advances it twice, and uses his Astro script token to advance the third time around, so he can score a 3 token agenda in one turn, and he wins the game. Very, very well played. Still,
that was well played.
I'm still amazed by this about Netrunner, how every game, even if the levels of the players are very different, or even if the game is so complex and stuff like that, it still often turns out to be very close how the game ends.
Yeah, that's what it mitigates the play, not player skill necessarily, but it mitigates player newness.
Yes,
we can call it player shininess.
So yeah,
Right.
So for example, like in Magic, when you attack somebody, and it's very easy to get like into those like very one-sided games where one player has thousands of creatures and the other player has no creatures at all, and it's like, okay, I just get whipped, And in Netrunner, it's more complex, and it's often like, oh man, if I just had one more turn, I would have won instead. Which is kind of like maybe a little bit what happened here. Although my opponent was very, very skilled, and he actually ended up winning the entire tournament, so I don't even feel bad about losing against him.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, so well done, Plüsch. Great game. I had a lot of fun, and I hope you guys had a lot of fun watching us, and that you will join us next time. We're going to comment one of those games, so tune in next time.
Yes.
Hack the planet!
Hack the planet! Hack the planet!
Shut up and get in the car!
Shit on me.